are back with another episode of Armenia with the Quant Guy. Yeah, so here's my extended version of the advanced dplyr practice. So, without further ado, let us get to my R screen. Boop! We're there. By golly, we are having fun here, ladies and gentlemen. So we got a big problem here. I see Untitled 1. I don't like Untitled 1. So I'm hitting Command S, or if you're on a PC, Control S to save it. And I'm going to save it within my project folder. I'm going to call this 10-advanced dplyr practice. All right. Cool. We got these lovely comments here. So here was the practice that I gave you, and here are the answers with commentary by yours truly. So we're going to take the data satisfaction dataset, and we're going to recode A to E to be 10 to 15, reverse code MSSI 2 to MSSI 6, and DEP 1 to DEP 3. Create sum scales for SFA, B, C using different rules, whatever we end up choosing. All right, I don't know what half that means, but we're going to find out as we go along. So we're going to read in our data set. D equals read.csv data underscore data / data underscore satisfaction.csv. And read it in, and it read in, no errors. Yay! So I'm going to go ahead, D. And we've got this data set. I'm remembering now. Yeah, we got A, B, C, D instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or whatever it is. Okay, so now it's coming back. Now it's coming back. So recode A to E to be 10 to 15. All right. Gotta warm up my brain here. Okay, so, and I forgot my D underscore original. That's what I need. And then I'm going to create my new data set called just D. Not just D, it's just D. You get the idea. Anyway, D is equal to D underscore, no caps, original. Type it, baby. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to recode A through E to be 10 to 15. All right. So I'm going to need a mutate statement here. And then I'm going to need an across statement because I'm going across multiple columns. So I do have to think about this. So across, and what I'm going to do is MSSI 1 through SF underscore 9. So I'm telling it to across all those columns, and then comma, and then I'm going to put my function, and then my function is going to be recode. And then I think I have to do a dot there. I'm going to find out and see if it gives me a problem. So recode everything, because the dot represents the data set as it came through. So, oh no, you don't have to do that. No, because you're within this statement, I think. I don't know. We'll find out. I'm just going to do a test one. So A equals 1, B equals 2. Let's see if that does it. Okay, it did not like that. No, that's X is missing with no default. Okay, yeah. So let me try a dot, comma. No. Dot X. No. Across. Okay, I'm gonna have to look at what I did before. I figured this out at one time, but apparently I don't have it down as much as I thought. So if I went to advanced dplyr, let's see what I said before. With the did I do an across? Yes. Okay, that's right. It's a tilde. And this is something that confuses me. I don't know when you need a tilde. I don't know when you need a dot X. I don't know. If you know, please let me know. This is my biggest weakness when it comes to dplyr is things like this, like these little nuances of when do I do a tilde, and it looks like I need a dot X there. I'm wondering if a dot will work. I'm gonna find out. No, it doesn't like that, so I'm gonna do X. No, still not working. Okay, let me pull this out. I'm just copying that and pasting it just so I can look at them side by side. So I got across and then the columns and then tilde, recode. That seems like it ought to work, doesn't it? C equals 3, D equals 4, E equals 5. Will that do it? Oh, that did do it. Oh, look at that. I done made a mistake. I was trying to just make sure that it worked by only typing in a little bit, and that's the very thing that screwed it up. So I have learned today that you have to have everything in there or it doesn't work. All right, and then as I remembered as I was writing that out that it actually needs to be 10 through 15. So that's going to be 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Except I miscounted before, so oh well. All right, so let's look at that and make sure that came across, and then I'll go ahead and summarize what you and I both have learned, because I've learned something new. So when you're using the across statement, I think it's okay that if you need to look back at code to remember, that's totally cool, because that's exactly what I had to do. I was like, why isn't this working? And then I figured out why it wasn't working, because I needed that little tilde in there. Why do I need the tilde? I wish I knew better than I do, and I'm not exactly sure. I know that's how you tell R that you're applying a function, but why is it .x instead of dot? I think I have a suspicion, but I don't want to theorize right now unless I know the answer, because I don't want to confuse you. So, yay, we did the hardest part, I think. So we recoded A through E to be 10 through 15, and then the next one is to reverse code MSSI 2 through 6 and DEP 1 through 3. Okay, so here, like I mentioned in the video before, I'm going to be safe and put this in a new mutate statement. Why am I going to do that? Because I'm worried that if I try to put it in the same statement, that it's going to try to reverse code A, B, C, D, and E instead of 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So I'm going to do a new mutate statement that is using this new data set where all the letters have become numbers. So let's see, reverse code MSSI 2 through MSSI 6. So I actually had a small moment of panic. I was going to say, do them individually, just MSSI 2 is equal to whatever, MSSI 3 is equal to. I said, I don't want to use a cross because I just got burned using a cross, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to be brave, like you, fellow viewer. So I'm going to say across, and then I'll go MSSI 2 through MSSI 6. Whew, that wasn't so hard. And then I've got the code up there. I didn't need to be intimidated because the code is right there. And then recode, and then I'm going to do my .x. And then let's see. So it's going to be reverse coded. So all 10s become a 14. And now here I need the quotes like that. 10 equals 14. So any number that of what it used to be needs to have those little tilde, or what are those called? The backticks. And then 11 becomes a 13, and then a 12 becomes a 12. I don't know if that's necessary, but I'm kind of afraid not to put it there because I got messed up last time when I only did the A and the B, so I'm going to put them all there. And then a 13, oops, I put 2 there. 13 becomes an 11, and then 14 equals 10. So 10 to 14, 11 to 13. So I'm going to just do this an easier way for me. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. That's good. And then 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Okay, so I think that works. But we also need to do that for DEP 1 through 3. Now I'm doing this within the same mutate statement. Why am I doing it within the same? Because DEP were not modified in this mutate statement. So I feel safe putting it within the same because I didn't touch it. So I'm going to go across and then DEP 1 through DEP 3. And then I'm just going to borrow that same code here. So what I'm doing is I try to use my mouse as little as possible. So I'm hitting there. And then what I'm going to do, because I try to avoid my mouse, is I'm hitting Shift, Command, and then the right arrow. If you're on a Mac, if you're on a PC, I think you can hit Shift, End, the End button, which is like to the right of the backspace or something like that. That doesn't work on a Mac. This was from years ago when I was a PC user. So I think if you ever wanted to know. Otherwise, you could just highlight it. But again, I just try to avoid using my mouse. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I see this little red here, so it's telling me, even before I run it, I see a red, and I'm kind of nervous about that. And so it's highlighting that, and I'm guessing this is going to say, there's an unexpected parentheses there. Yep, unexpected token, close parentheses. So that tells me I have too many parentheses, which if you look at this, to close that first one required 2. And then to close that across statement requires 2, but then we need one extra one to close that mutate statement. So again, as before, I'm going to run just that little bit. And then now it's giving me an error. And that's great, because that gives me a chance to debug things with you. And if you remember the debugging, you always want to read the error message. It says, it actually a little more complicated within dplyr. It tells you the problem, and then it says can't subset columns that don't exist. Column dep1 doesn't exist. So that's where my eyes went first. I actually didn't even read all this other stuff. I just saw column dep1 doesn't exist. And I would say, and then, by the way, all this was unconscious. I don't know. I mean, all this was automatic. Before I even started talking to you, my eyes went from dep1 to up here where the dep is, and I immediately saw, dep_1 instead of dep1. So that's all I needed to do. So I'm just going to put the underscores there and the underscore there. And then that should work now. Hey, no errors. And then head. And if we wanted to, which we'll go ahead and do it. So what was a 14 here is now a 10. That's great. And what was a 10 down here is now a 14. So it seems like we're doing good here. Yay! And now we want to create sum scales for SF A, B, and C. And again, I could do a new mutate statement. There would be nothing wrong with that. And if you just wanted to be safe and just create new mutate statements, that's totally cool. But I'm not going to, because in this example, the SF variable wasn't affected by this mutate statement. It was by this one, but we're outside of that first mutate statement. We're in another one, so I'm comfortable creating my own rules. And let's see. That's right, there's supposed to be 3 subscales for that. So I'm going to say SF underscore A is equal to, I'm going to do my row. And again, there's that slight moment of panic that I'm like, I don't know this off the top of my head, but I think I might, so I'm going to try it. So I'm going to do the row sums just to give you practice. And then row sums, and then we're going to go select. We need to select a data set. And then now I remember the select is a dot when you're doing a row sums, whereas the code is a .x and a tilde. So I'm going to say select dot, and then row sums of, let's see, which ones do we want? We'll just say SF underscore 1, SF underscore 3, and then SF underscore 5. So again, I'm gonna just do that little bit. Hey, I got it! Yes! Nice. So SFA is good. Now I'm going to go SF underscore B is equal to row sums. And then now I got the pattern down. It's going to be easy now. Select dot comma. And this time I'll go SF2, SF4, SF6. And then glorious, sweet gods of statistics. We got it. Bam! And then I'm going to go SF underscore C is equal to row sums. Select dot. And then, let's see, we're kind of running out of them. I guess we'll do 7 through 9. SF, I guess we have to because it's all we have left. And I'm going to use the colon here just because it's shorter. SF underscore 9. And then if I do my head, wow, I haven't cracked that much since puberty. Awesome. That's good. The other thing I want to do is I don't like the gender 1 and 2, so I'm going to do another recode mutate thingy. Why not? I'm just having fun here. So I'm going to say gender is equal to recode of gender. And then I'm going to say what my rules are. 1, oops, it needs to be within a parenthesis, or the backticks. 1, come on now, there we go, equals male. Oh, that's got to be in quotes because I'm assigning it a name at this point. And then 2 equals female, and I don't remember if this has 2 levels or 3 levels, so I'm gonna just guess that it has 3. Is equal to non-binary, and it'll report a problem if it doesn't, and it didn't. So it seems that we did have a non-binary individual in our data set. So man, that was just loads of fun. All right, so hopefully that helped. Yeah, my best suggestion at this point is, especially if you're using the recode and the row sums, is maybe what you can do is you can create a separate R project called like R learning, if you haven't already done so, or R reference, where you can put tricky code like that. And I do that too, like especially now since I'm new to this sort of dplyr stuff. I have, actually I don't do this. What I do is I say, oh, I used that recently. What project was it on that I used that? And then I have to go back to that project and or try to remember where that project is and then copy and paste that way. It'd probably be better if I just had like a master R reference thing, that if there's ever tricky code that I just open up that project folder and put it in there so it's easier to find. But you can do whatever you want. So anyway, hopefully that helps, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.